Hey, media, we see everyone starting to file in. We'll just give everyone a minute to load into the Zoom before we get started. If you want to get in the queue to ask Patrice a question, please hit the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. We'll do questions in English first and then allow some questions in French at the end of the Zoom. And with that, we will start with an opening statement from Patrice.
Thanks for everyone for joining in. First of all I want to say is I'm extremely excited to be back for one more year with the Boston Bruins. Obviously, it's an organization that means the world to me. I've started here, and they've been extremely loyal, and I've learned a lot over the years being a part of the organization. And I feel like I've grown immensely. And Boston is my home. My family's excited to be back alongside myself in Boston. Can't wait to go over there. And I want to thank the Jacobs family, Cam Neely and Don Sweeney, for their trust. And obviously the trainers, the coaches, and all my teammates for making this possible. I can't wait to get going and start again a new year with them.
Thank you, Patrice. We will start with Steve Conroy from the Boston Herald.
Hey, Patrice, congratulations.
Thanks, Steve.
In your statement there, you said one more year. Is this definitely it, or are you going to take it 1 year at a time?
Honestly, right now, I'm really happy to be back. I'm concentrating on this year. I feel like my decision this summer was about this coming year, and I had a lot of things to think about, like I've told you and the rest of media in the past at the end of the year. And whatever the future holds, you'll know, I guess, and I'll address when the time is right. Right now, I feel like it's, I got to concentrate on this year. I'm excited to be back and can't wait to get started and show up at training camp soon.
Okay. And just what were the determining factors that made you decide to come back?
There was a few. Probably the first one, I spoke with my wife, and for her it was basically my decision, and was supporting of whatever choice I was going to make, and that was great that the family side was taken care of, and the kids obviously love Boston and feel like it's their home as well. So that was a non-issue there. And after that, it was more making sure that I wanted it, like wanted to work out. Felt like, when I was getting up, I missed the game again. And when I had those feelings, I felt like it was time, and I needed to play one more year and come back. So that's it, really. It was more just letting my body and my brain and mentally just know what I wanted, and really listening to that. And once I felt like, the desire and the passion was there and coming back, and I was getting excited to working out again and to really wanting to skate and whatnot. So that's, to me, is the indicator that you need to keep playing.
Great. Thanks, Patrice.
Of course.
We'll go next to Joe Haggerty, Boston Hockey Now.
Hey, Bergie, congrats on the deal.
Thanks, Hags.
You got it. Jim Montgomery had mentioned a couple times that you guys had multiple conversations, over the off season. Just from your perspective, what's it been like to get to know him, have some conversations with him, talk about next season? What's the anticipation or excitement level, just, with the different coach and, some of the different perspectives going into this season?
Yeah, we've had some great conversations, just going over what we thought of the state of the team, but also as far as Coach Montgomery's way of thinking and how he saw it, I guess, and how he wants things to be run and the system to be and whatnot. So there's a lot of conversations that way. It was, it went from one subject to the next. It was just a great conversation. And, it was also just getting to know him and each other to so that it wouldn't be an unfamiliar face or person when we got going there in September. So it was more just to get to know each other and starting to work on things.
And what's the excitement level knowing that Kretsch is coming back for this coming year too?
Yeah, super excited. Super excited that we could make it work. As we all know, I have high, I keep Kretsch in high regards here. I think he's an amazing person, first and foremost, but also an amazing player that still has it in him. I think he wants it. I think he was in the same situation as me as far as family decisions to make and what he really wanted for this coming year. But we had a few conversations. Obviously, we're great friends and we go way back. So it was nice for him to take that time and make that decision. I'm super excited and thrilled to get going with him, but also with the rest of the guys. And again, it's every year you have to start over again. And I think that's the most important, exciting part of sports and hockey is to just having that challenge in front of you every year.
Was having such a good time with your teammates in Italy at Tuukka's wedding a deciding factor in coming back to play this year too?
Actually, no, it wasn't. At that point, I think our minds were made. It was just, I guess, it just made it even more special, I guess, to be back with them and made us realize that we've just made a great decisions to come back. So it was great to see him, and we definitely had a great time over there.
Thanks, Bergie.
Yeah, of course.
Matt Porter, Boston Globe.
Hey, Patrice, echoing the congrats.
Thank you.
Housekeeping wise, was it Phil that handled this negotiation for you? Okay.
Yes.
And, obviously a lot's going to be made of kind of how you fit in, given the level of play and the cap hit and the bonuses and all that stuff. I'm curious, how much did you concern yourself? Did that concern you, how you fit into the salary structure and what Don would be able to do in fitting both you and David back? How much did you dig into that or concern yourself with that?
Yeah, I mean, that was part of it. I mean, obviously we knew that there was, we've had conversation. I've had conversation with management, myself and Phil as well, my agent, Retaliate, about once I wanted to come back, I guess we started having those conversations and, we knew that, there was a cap situation and we're trying to make it work. And we talked with the management and obviously for them, there was other things up in the air that needed to work on. And it took some time for the structure to kind of to lay out basically. So to me, there wasn't necessarily concern. It was more trying to make it work for them and for the cap and finding ways to make everyone kind of fit in. Right. So, especially once I knew that Kretsch was coming back. So it was more a matter of trying to make things work and for the structure, but also to for us to be as competitive as we can be. And yeah, so there's a lot of things that we had to work on. And you mentioned Phil, obviously kudos to him too. I think there's a lot of agents sometimes that are trying to push for to get the most out of every deal. But I think sometimes you need to listen to your players. And I think he did a great job of that. He knew what I wanted. I wanted to come back with the Bruins and Bruins only. And there was no question about that. And I wanted to make it work with management. So I took the time and we took the time together to make it work. And I thought that Sweens and Cam have been amazing throughout the process and Phil as well. So it all played out.
Yeah. And then finally, how are you feeling health wise? How, is how's the elbow? How are you feeling on the ice if you're back on the ice and as you get ready for training camp?
No, I'm feeling good. Health wise, I feel good. My elbow is, the rehab has gone well throughout. Might need a few more weeks now of rehab, but I'll be ready for training camp. now, I've been back on the ice for the last few weeks, and I can start shooting this week and really kind of ramp up the work on the ice as far as, using the elbow. I guess you can do everything else, which is fine. So I've been able to skate and work on my edges and whatnot, and conditioning throughout, and it's been easy that way. So no, health wise, there's no issue.
Thanks, Patrice.
Of course, thank you.
Joe McDonald, Worcester Telegram.
Hey, Bergie, congratulations.
Thank you.
Just curious, part of your decision to come back is confidence in the team being able to be successful. So when you look at once everybody's healthy and on the ice, just how confident are you that this team moving forward has the ability to win, get into the playoffs, and maybe go on a deep run?
No, I'm really confident, and I believe in this team. I believe in management, and I think we've made those decisions this summer because obviously I wanted to play, but also I wanted to play with the Boston Bruins because I believe in this team and I believe in the organization, and that's never going to change. So you're right. There's going to be some adversity to start the year, but to me that's probably a good thing. Obviously, you'd rather have Marshy and Charlie and Grizz from the get-go on the ice. But that being said, I'm saying it's a better and bigger opportunity for other guys to work on their game, but also to show what they have, what they can bring, and make them better players and make us a better team ultimately. So I think it's when there's challenges, there's always some positive that can come out of it, and I think that's how I see it. And to me, I think that adversity can make you an even stronger team down the stretch.
At the end of last season, talked to a few of your teammates, and they had mentioned the fact that they didn't know whether or not you would be coming back, and they were motivated to win in the playoffs and try to play as long as they could for you. Now that this team is going to have at least a full season with you on the ice, that motivation could increase a little bit. So knowing that your teammates feel that way about you, like, what does that mean?
No, I think it's great, and I feel the same way about them. That's the brotherhood, I guess, of battling night in, night out for your teammates, and I think that's the mentality you want to have on a successful team, is to play for each other and having each other's back. So obviously, it's great to hear, but it's the same for me, obviously, and I think as far as playing for one person and whatnot, to me, it's the game is about challenges. It's about bringing your best every night, and I think that's all you can really do, and night in and night out. And I think to me, it's having the pride to play for the Boston Bruins and historical team. To me, it's the only motivation you need, to leave this jersey in a better place.
Thanks, Brady.
Of course.
Jimmy Murphy, Boston Hockey Now.
Hey, Bergie.
Hey, Murph.
How you doing? Congratulations. I'm just wondering, obviously you did a lot of soul searching, a lot of thinking about now and your future. When you were sort of thinking about what life after hockey would be like, what did it look like?
It looked pretty quiet. I don't know. I obviously, but to me, it's it was more the family side of things. Obviously the one plus is you'll have more time at home with the family and with the kids, right? And see them grow up and whatnot. But that being said, I think the fire, the desire, the passion was too strong, I guess, for me to take that path right now. And obviously my family is always going to be my priority, and I'll try to, make it work and spend as much time with them. And like I've had over the last few years since they've been born. But that being said, to me, that I'm not ready, I guess, for the next step of my life. So I think I still have some in the tank and some to give, and then I can, I guess my mind will be sure, and at 100% that, you know, it's time to move on, then I'll let you know, Murph, what my future.
Just looking back on that Carolina series, you know, I think a lot of people, players, management, coaches said you guys felt like you really left something out there. Was that also a motivating factor, knowing that, you know, hey, we're better than that, we can still go further than that? Did that stick in your mind throughout the summer?
Yeah, I think the way that it ended, you know, in Game 7, and it was hard for me to really think and say that this could have been my last game, and I had a hard time believing that. You know, I think it was really hard for me to digest that part of it. You know, ending it that way, and with the question mark, I guess, up in the air. I think it was really hard for me to the way that things ended, and it's definitely motivation. That being said, I think that series was that was a team that during the year gave us a hard time, and we gave them a run for their money in playoffs, and to me that was definitely a positive. And if you know, you always want to look at the glass half full, but at the same time it was disappointing, and I thought we had a better team than the first round exit.
And then quickly, I mean, I know Phil's running things now for you. Did Kent try and persuade you at all to do any other things, or he knows better?
No, I think he knows better. You know, he did not. I mean, even though we've known each other for 20 years, right? So he knows that for me, the Bruins is that was the only place that I wanted to be, and if things would have been different, if I thought any differently, he knew that maybe I would have reached out after July 13th, but there was never a doubt in my mind. So he knew that he had to kind of stay out of the way, I guess, and just let me make my decision with the family.
All right, thanks, man.
Of course.
We'll go next to Jack Edwards, Nesson.
Hi, Patrice. Throughout your career, there has been a building or rebuilding of the Bruins culture. And in the cap era, you have always signed team-friendly contracts, which leave room for teammates and quality teammates. How much of your philosophy is extending the culture to the next generation of Bruins?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think you hope that I think that, you know, that's the thing. To me, like, hockey is all about, you know, the team's success and ultimately winning, right? And that's what really makes the difference between a good career and a great career, really. And it's the friendships that you build. It's the memories that last a lifetime. And the dollar sign, obviously, I'm not going to say that we're not well paid. We're extremely and beyond what I ever dreamed of as far as salary goes. But that being said, I think leaving a few on the table to make sure you're a competitive team and you're a good team, and that it carries on for years. I think that's, to me, makes a big difference. And I think that's how you want to play the game. You want to play the game to win. You want to play the game to be successful. You want to play the game to have friendships and memories. And I think that's the one thing you hope that, you know, people kind of buy into. And I feel like this team and guys, even younger guys, have been really buying in. So you hope that this carries on, and it didn't start with me or, you know, or Kretcho. It's really beyond my years, and I think it's great to have in a historical franchise like the Bruins.
Thanks.
Of course.
Chris Ryan, New Hampshire Radio.
Hey, Patrice, congrats.
Thank you.
I'm curious, as you've been talking about, you know, your love of the game and kind of perspective through the course of the Zoom, you know, how that's kind of evolved and changed from the beginning of your career to now. And as you're kind of staring at not playing, how did it kind of, you know, kind of crystallize the thought process of what the Bruins mean to you?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think first of all, when you're you're coming up when you're younger, when you're 18, 19, 20 years old, you're only focused in, I guess, in the future, and you don't really take everything. You take everything for granted, I should say, and you're kind of like going from one year to the next, and obviously you're trying to get better, you're trying to win, but you don't really realize how fast it goes, how important it is to soak everything in and to really appreciate the moment and appreciate the, as I said before, the friendships that you build over the years, and you know, how special it is to be playing in this league, and you know, how hard you've worked to get to that point too, and to really, you've worked so hard, you might as well, you know, soak it in and make the best of it, and you know, try to really enjoy every moment. And I think to me is the one thing that over the years, and as you grow older, you realize and you try to appreciate more. And not that I didn't appreciate earlier, it was more just a different mindset, because you're so young and full of energy, and you don't really think twice. You just want to kind of move on. And I think over the years you realize that you have to cherish every moment, and that you're not going to see those again, unfortunately. So that they're special.
Thanks.
We have time for a couple more in English. We'll go to Bridget Prue, WEI.
Hi, Patrice. When you were making your decision, were any of your teammates lobbying you and Krejci to come back for another go around? Who maybe was trying to lobby you, and what were the role of your teammates in getting you guys to come back?
Yeah, I think the guys have been really respectful of my time and my decision-making process. Obviously, I've spoken to many guys, and, you know, even though they wanted me to come back, they knew that I was the only one that could really make that final decision, and along with my family. And I think they respected that. And obviously I was very appreciative of it. And I think those are things that I say when I talk about the things that I'll miss the most, you know, when it's all done and over with. I think it's really the guys and battling with them night in, night out. And obviously that had a big influence on me wanting to come back. You know, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like competing and battling and working towards a common goal. So, I mean, even though I spoke to a few guys and they were asking where I was at with my decision, there's no one that really tried to influence me one way or another.
Jason Scales, Inside Hockey.
Yep. Congratulations, Patrice. Welcome back. Just curious, you mentioned the state of the team. You guys haven't made a huge splash in the offseason. Probably the addition of Krejci and yourself, the biggest story so far. How does the movement that did or didn't happen come into your decision at such a late stage in the offseason?
Well, honestly, my decision has been made even before free agency. My decision, I let Sweens know, like I've told them I would, so that they would, you know, they would make whatever moves they want to make, and so that they could plan ahead and work on things that they had to work on. So that it didn't influence me, to be honest with you. I wanted to come back because I still know that I have some to give, because I want to come back, and with the Bruins, because it's, you know, it's my team. I love the city, I love the team, I love the guys, and I want to make and do something special with them.
Thank you, Patrice. We'll now take a few minutes to have some questions in French. So if any of our French media want to hit the raise hand button, we'll try to get to as many of you as we can. We'll start with Alexis from La Presse.
Salut Patrice, Alexis Bélanger-Champagne, la presse canadienne. Je voulais peut-être juste revenir en commençant sur ce qui a mené à ta décision. Tu dis que tu l'as pris avant même l'ouverture des joueurs autonomes. Donc, à quel moment est-ce que tu as pris cette décision-là? Et puis, ça a été quoi peut-être les facteurs déterminants?
C'était juste avant, justement, dans le fond, je dirais peut-être fin juin, début juillet, peut-être plus début juillet que j'ai parlé avec Don pour lui faire mention de ma décision. En fait, les raisons, c'était simple. J'ai parlé avec ma famille, puis c'était que j'avais encore le goût de jouer. Je pense que j'ai encore le feu sacré. Je peux encore avoir un impact avec mon équipe. Et puis, c'est ça, aussitôt que j'ai eu comme ce message-là, si on veut, j'ai écouté mon corps physiquement et mentalement au niveau de vouloir recommencer à m'entraîner, vouloir patiner. Je m'ennuyais de ne pas le faire. Donc, toutes ces choses-là ensemble m'ont permis de me rendre à l'évidence et de prendre la décision.
Et puis, tout le monde a été marqué un peu par l'image après l'élimination contre les Hurricanes, quand tu serrais la main, tous tes coéquipiers à la sortie de la glace. Parce qu'à ce moment-là, puis tu avais parlé là, dans les jours suivants en disant que tu ne savais pas qu'est-ce qui te réservait l'avenir, mais quand tu repenses à ce moment-là, toute la grind à travers laquelle vous passez, est-ce que c'était difficile? Pourquoi c'était difficile à ce moment-là de t'imaginer peut-être jouer une autre saison?
Parce que justement, je n'avais pas pris ma décision. Je voulais prendre le temps de le faire, de vraiment laisser la poussière retomber. Puis, je pense qu'il était trop tôt à ce moment-là, après une défaite qui était décevante pour nous tous, de commencer à prendre des décisions comme ça. Donc, c'est sûr que pour moi, c'était je devais prendre un pas de recul. J'ai pris le temps de le faire. Puis maintenant, je suis très content puis excité pour la prochaine saison. Puis content que justement que tout ce questionnement-là soit derrière moi maintenant.
Merci.
Simon Lorange.
Salut Patrice. Un peu dans la même veine, tantôt en anglais, tu disais que tu as voulu attendre d'être sûr que la passion était encore là, justement le goût d'entraîner, tout ça. Y a-tu eu un moment où tu n'étais plus sûr entre l'élimination puis forcément ta prise de décision? Y a-tu un moment où tu t'es dit, ouais, ben, je suis pas sûr que ça va se passer?
Que j'allais pas revenir?
Que tu as un moment où tu t'es dit, ouais, que c'est peut-être que la passion n'est plus là, peut-être que ça ne tente pas.
Non, j'ai pas. Ça n'a pas été. C'est jamais venu dans le fond ce sentiment-là, si on veut. Je voulais voir justement où j'en étais personnellement. À mon âge, c'était la première fois que je devenais, si on veut, en parenthèse, là, sans contrat, agent libre. Puis c'est ça, je voulais vraiment, à ce moment-là, à ce point-ci dans ma carrière, je voulais prendre le temps vraiment de m'écouter, d'écouter mon corps, physiquement, mentalement, pour voir où j'en étais. Puis jamais que ces mots-là ou ce message-là est venu dans ma tête, dans le fond. C'était toujours... j'ai pris le temps, évidemment, de me reposer, de relaxer, de recharger les batteries. Mais aussitôt que le 3 semaines est venu, là, j'avais le goût de recommencer à m'entraîner. Puis le désir un peu les mêmes routines là, des étés précédentes. C'était le même sentiment, le même feeling. Donc, je savais là, que je commençais à me dire que c'était une bonne décision pour moi de vouloir revenir.
Tantôt, tu disais que donc Kent Hughes n'a pas appelé. Est-ce que tu sais s'il y a d'autres équipes qui ont appelé ton agent ou est-ce que vraiment c'était tellement clair pour tout le monde que c'était les Bruins ou rien que les offres ne sont pas venues?
Oui, il faut croire que c'était clair parce que j'ai pas. Mais en fait, j'avais déjà dit à Philippe Le Cavalier que pour moi, c'était. J'avais une décision à prendre, j'avais besoin de temps, ce qu'il a respecté. Encore une fois, je le dis en français parce que Phil est vraiment écouté ce que. Parfois, les agents, on entend souvent parler des histoires que, oui, ils travaillent pour toi, mais ils essaient d'aller chercher toujours le plus puis squeezer le plus du pamplemousse ou de l'orange, si on veut, avec les équipes, mais aussi parfois d'avoir quelqu'un qui écoute vraiment ce qu'on veut, ce qu'on a de besoin, où on en est rendu dans notre carrière. Je pense que Phil il a vraiment bien saisi où j'en étais, puis il savait que j'avais besoin de temps, il le fait, il a attendu que moi, je communique avec lui pour dire, OK, là, je suis prêt qu'on commence à parler un petit peu de la prochaine saison de négociation, de parler avec le clan des Bruins, puis après ça a été de le faire cordialement, amicalement aussi, parce qu'il y a une belle relation avec eux au niveau de loyauté et de confiance, je pense, avec les Bruins. Donc, ça s'est très bien passé. Puis, c'est ça. Donc, non, je ne pense pas qu'il y ait d'autres équipes. Pour revenir un peu à ta question, excuse-moi, il n'y a pas d'autres équipes qui ont parlé.
Si je peux en squeezer une dernière, il y a beaucoup de joueurs, dont toi, qui hésitent sur un contrat d'un an ou la dernière année de contrat, beaucoup de futurs joueurs autonomes. Est-ce que tu as un peu l'impression que pour le succès des Bruins ou pour gagner, faire un push, c'est cette saison ou jamais avec cette formation-là?
Je pense que c'est toujours un peu le mindset que tu vas avoir en tant qu'équipe. Je pense que tu ne veux jamais reporter les choses à plus tard. Donc, c'est important de mettre le focus toujours sur la saison devant toi. C'est ce qu'on va faire.
Merci beaucoup.
Simon Barassa.
Oui, bonjour Patrice, Simon Bourassa de nouveau. Merci de prendre le temps aujourd'hui. Je veux savoir comment va ton état de santé physique, comment ça se passe, puis quelles sont les prochaines étapes là, au niveau de l'entraînement pour toi?
Oui, ça va bien, non. Pas de problème au niveau de la santé. Je me sens bien, je me sens prêt. Je continue de l'entraînement quotidien, là, de la routine de la période estivale. J'ai eu une opération au coude après la saison, donc je suis rendu vers la fin de ma période de réhabilitation. Puis cette semaine, je peux recommencer à lancer sur la grille. Donc, c'est vraiment plus. Dans quelques semaines, je devrais être à 100% au niveau du coude, 2-3 semaines. Puis, aucun problème au niveau d'être prêt pour le camp. Donc, pas vraiment de problème au niveau de la santé, si on veut.
Last one will go to JC Bertrand.
Salut Patrice, félicitations. Je voulais te demander, avec tout le processus que tu viens de faire, tu viens d'effectuer, sens-tu que tu vas peut-être un petit peu plus profiter de la saison qui s'en vient devant toi, sans dire que c'est ta dernière, là, mais tu sais, de profiter de chaque moment qui s'en vient cette saison?
Oui, je pense que c'est important. Je pense que plus tu avances dans ta carrière, plus tu vieillis. Je pense que tu prends l'expérience. Évidemment, il y a un niveau de maturité aussi qui grandit. Puis, c'est certain là, qu'au niveau d'apprécier, de vivre le moment présent, c'est des choses qui sont importantes pour moi, des choses que j'ai appris à faire avec les années. Puis, c'est sûr que ça sera pas une différence cette année. Je vais faire la même chose.
Puis je veux juste savoir aussi, David Krejci qui vient de signer un contrat, à quel point tu as été en discussion avec lui? Est-ce que tu le savais d'avance? Est-ce que vous aviez pris votre décision un peu les deux d'avance? Mais ça a été annoncé aujourd'hui quand tu disais que ça faisait un petit bout. Là. Tu savais-tu qu'il allait re-signer?
Bon, en fait, moi puis Krejci, on est des amis de longue date, évidemment. Ça fait plusieurs années qu'on se côtoie puis qu'on est des amis. Donc, c'est sûr qu'il y a une communication qui était là pendant la saison estivale, pendant l'été. Mais en même temps, il était un petit peu dans la même situation que moi au niveau qui avait besoin de temps pour lui-même pour prendre la décision avec lui et sa famille, à savoir s'il voulait ou s'il allait revenir. Donc, j'ai laissé prendre ce temps-là, mais on a toujours une communication. Et puis, très content de voir qu'il est de retour. Et oui, évidemment, je ne l'ai pas appris ce matin qu'il revenait. C'est quelque chose qu'on a su dernièrement, mais comme je dis, je suis très content qu'il soit de retour avec la gang.
Une petite dernière sur Jim Montgomery, nouvel entraîneur à ta saison, que tu en as vu dans la Ligue. Qu'est-ce qu'il peut apporter? Puis c'est quoi le genre de discussion que tu as eu avec lui durant l'entrée-saison?
C'est des bonnes discussions. Je pense que c'est un entraîneur qui est passionné du hockey aussi, qui amène un style de bon communicateur. J'ai eu des très bons commentaires aussi de joueurs avec qui ils ont joué sous ses ordres. Donc, ça, c'est une communication par rapport à apprendre à se connaître, c'est sûr. C'était une première fois pour nous. Et puis, parler un petit peu du système, des changements qu'il voudrait peut-être y apporter. Hors glace aussi, au niveau de comment un petit peu il voyait les choses et même chose de mon côté. Donc, c'était une belle discussion. Puis, j'ai hâte justement de poursuivre avec lui là, au courant de la saison.
Merci et bonne saison.
Merci.
Thank you, Patrice. That's all the questions we have. Thank you, media, for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Have a good rest of your summer. See you soon.